Hello, welcome back, viewers and subscribers. Thanks again for everyone who was a part of the journey getting us to 600 subscriptions. We appreciate all the love and the support that we've received throughout this past few months. Tonight, halftime ball talk is with you, and it's a bit different. I know you are accustomed to ball talk being held on a Monday night, but tonight we decided we're going to do it on a Thursday, and we have a very special guest with us on tonight's episode. Before I get to it, let me say thank you to my sponsors, Quicklink Shipping. Follow them on Instagram at Quicklink Shipping or email them at quicklinkshipping at gmail.com. RS Sports Store for all your sporting and sports apparel. Check out RS Sports Store on Instagram. They also have new Reggae Boys original kit for only 9,000 Jamaican dollars. Check out RS Sports Store. All right, they have you covered. CSA Shop. Be free, be confident. Reach out to CSA Shop on Instagram at CSA Shop or email them at csashop@aol.com. Now, before I go any further, let me say our guest tonight is a remarkable player. He has represented Jamaica at every possible level you could fathom. He was one of those standout players that we were expecting great things from in the future. And tonight I have the privilege of interviewing him on our show. Now, he's no stranger to local football, neither is he a stranger to football in the United States. And the superlatives to describe this player, I've grown short of them, but I guarantee you within the next 30 or 45 minutes or so, you'll get to know him a little bit better. And at the end of the interview, I trust you would have been far more wiser as it relates to this player than you were at the beginning of the show. All right. Our guest tonight is none other than Andre Lewis, youth phenom, standout star, and currently plying his trade with Colorado Switchbacks over there in the United States, the United States Soccer League. How are you doing tonight, Andre?
I'm doing good. Doing good,
All right. All right. Welcome to the halftime ball talk show. We do this on a weekly basis. The purpose of this show is to ensure that the fans they get to know their favorite players a little bit better. We see you guys on television. We see you playing football week in, week out. But what a lot of fans and persons who consume the game, they fail to realize that footballers are primarily human beings before they're even players. So this platform is essentially to introduce that human element and to get to know you, the players, a little bit more. All right. So what's up? How have you been? How's the weather in Colorado?
I've been great, Thanks for having me again. Much respect, but I have been great. Colorado is a cool state, and right now, summertime, so it's nice. We can bring Jamaican style and play in a perfect weather we want playing. But yeah, man, I'm good advice from that, man. COVID kind of ease up and take a break now. So football fans are come out, and that are the best thing we want. So far, me I do good, man.
Yeah, all right. That's good to hear you. You said you're in Colorado and it's cold there. I can imagine. I'm currently in Toronto, Canada. So whenever I mention Toronto, folks just think I live in an ice box, and it's the same thing. But when I hear Colorado, I'm like, okay, you leave from Jamaica to Colorado. It's almost the same as that moving from Jamaica to Canada. But well, sacrifices have to be made. We know how that is in order to get those goals and to get everything you want in life, especially as a professional. You want to make those sacrifices and you need to work as well to ensure that those sacrifices would have been worth it at the end of the day. All right, now let's get straight to it. For those who don't know you, tell us a bit about yourself, your style of play. Essentially, who is Eli Lewis?
I mean, for me, André Lewis, I describe myself as a creative player who push a lot of attack to my team and give my attacking like strikers opportunity to score goals. That's what I bring to the team. Also, I maintain possession. So that's my game. Outside of soccer, I'm a very humble and low-key, private person that keep myself to myself. I stand my ground. Not much of a public person, is it? You know. But yeah, man, come from Portmore, St. Catherine. Grew up in a place called Newland. Very humble background, and that's who I am. Family
All
man,
right.
like who André Lewis is today.
Okay. I watched a few of your interviews. One in particular when you got that big move to Vancouver initially, and you spoke a lot about your mother. Are you still close with your mother? Do you still maintain that close relationship? You mentioned family is key to everything that you do just now. How essential would you say your mother is in your career?
I mean, mother play a big role, big role. Like even now, just get off my phone with her earlier. So that got mama love always. Even football, she don't know much about the game, but them people that are excited. Why you never shoot? I did in a year pass and somebody score. Why you never shoot? You have to score goals. Mommy, I just that me get from mommy anytime play a match and she die the game. Even if me have a bad game and we lose, it's like something different she did I watch when football are going. My son, you play good. The man beside me I tell me say, your son bad, you the bad me fit. I'ma lose the game. So that little drive there, we go home, take the game off of my mind and refocus and come again for the next game. And Neville Bella, one of the huge person who teach me that. After Manning Cup game, I can't forget lose against Ulmers and go home my mother and say, you still play good because me they lick the post. So she think me score. I'll just like get over it, man, and play back Ulmers semi-final, Manning Cup and win and go final and win. But I'm me that always, man, backbone. She and my brother, huge on the football thing, my sister as well. But family, always have my back, man. If me have a game, no matter what, the first person to reach out and tell me. Even before, as me come off, I feel missed call or same time as me look on my phone, mommy a call. I just watch
Yeah,
them excited and me I tell them I lose. So sometimes it's just a joy. I always make
yeah.
sure proud, even though the man upstairs me give all of the praise, but I'm just glad to be able to know say mommy proud. I never turn out to be something more chef, yeah, fret and I run up and down. So yeah, man, mommy good, man. Mommy love always there.
True, true, true. That's very good to know. And I really admire that as well. You mentioned Neville Bell earlier when you were describing your mother. How essential was he in your development as a player?
A lot, a lot. I I remember going to George's like first day of training, first day, and I see Jimmy Tolo. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Yeah,
He's from Waterford. His name is Michael Williams. They call him Jamaica because he's the one that bring me there, bring me to Coach Bell and like this kid is really good because I used to go to Waterford High School. I don't know how
yeah,
many people know that, but that's where I used to go until second form I leave to George's. And I remember the first day I see Jimmy Tolo and I see Marvin Morgan, Devon Williams. But Jimmy Tolo was stand out and I was like, these guys are too big. I'm not gonna make this team. I don't wanna go there. And I remember Coach Bell called me and like, nah, you remind me of something special after one day. Cause I didn't go back for like a week. They keep calling my phone and I say, I'm not gonna make that team. I'm not wasting my time. And that time I was a part of Jamaica Youth 17 team. I wants to play. I don't know what the bench is like, cause I hate sit on the bench. So when he called me and I talked to him, it changed my football totally. Inside out, on the field, off the field. He don't just teach me about football. He teach me about life. And he will be every day, Coach Bell will just be like, football is not just played on the field. It's how you live your life, how you treat your friends, your family. That's what bring you, how you approach things. Because if you're a person that normally arrive to somewhere late, you have an appointment, then you arrive at the spot to score a goal late. So everything you do in your everyday life, that's come over to your soccer. So
All
coach
right.
a big role, big, huge role.
That's some remarkable advice there. Definitely. Some folks just think football is played on the field, and I said this in one of my previous videos. That's what's stifling the current football in Jamaica, because the federation only thinks football is played on the field, and it needs to
Yeah,
be
man.
played off
Yeah,
the field as well. Off the
that's,
field, even more than on the field,
yeah,
if
that's
I'm to be honest.
the thing what me learned since being a professional outside of Jamaica. Like preparation off of the field are one of the biggest thing. You can't just play a game Saturday and next week you know get like a normal massage or you know take care of your body ice bath or something and think you can play 3-4 game at the same level. Nah, it not gonna happen. The resource
Yeah.
behind football, and that's what I think our Premier League need. And my club, Portmore United, I know we have it. I think Mount Pleasant, Waterhouse, the teams that can financially maintain it. I mean, I see them do it, but outside of the pitch, that's a huge thing. That's what I learned over here. Your diet, or you sleep, everything. That's just something that you bring over to your game, or you train, everything. It's huge. It's not just on the
Def-
pitch.
Definitely, definitely. You backtrack a little bit. You said when you went to George's and you met up with Neville Bell, you were part of the under 17 setup. Now you were a standout player for the youth level, as I mentioned before, and you uh, at the under 17 World Cup in 2011, you even got on the score sheet. What was that experience like for you, scoring at the World Cup?
I can't even explain until this day because even the other day I was looking at something and I get to realize that I'm the first Jamaican born player to score against a European team. And I always say after World Cup, that's what inspired me. Like football was all a joy for me. Playing Manning Cup, you know, your friends, your classmates, they all cheer for you and you make someone and the fans go wild. But after going to the Youth 17 World Cup and see some of these guys and look back and I like, yo, these guys are my age and they're playing for this professional team. That's what inspired me. Apart from my family and knowing I want to make it out, but after that Youth 17 World Cup, I was like, nah, I need to take it another step because I got a lot of feedback that I was one of the standout guy, which I'm always that humble fella that's just in the group, don't talk, always by myself, just look and try to stay humble. And after getting all that feedback, is just something that's just pushed me. And until this day, as I say, I just find out that I'm the first Jamaican born to score against a European team, and that's big. So
Yeah,
that's
it
something
is.
that will never leave me.
It is. Just from your group in the 2011 World Cup, right? There was Ocampos who played for Argentina, is currently playing in Europe. I think he plays for Sevilla now, or Monaco, if I'm not sure, if I'm not wrong. Benjamin Mendy, who plays
And
for Manchester City. Um, Emerick Laporte, who plays for Manchester City as well. We have Bakayoko, and there is Kurt Zuma. So just from your group that you were in. There's also Memphis Depay and Takumi Minamino from other groups. I could go on and on. Raheem Sterling was there. Blair Turgott, who recently got his call up for Jamaica, he was a part of the English setup as well. Jordan Pickford was in goal for England. So, what do you think? Why do you think these players were able to go on to make the grade, whereas a lot of the Jamaican players in your batch had to settle for lower leagues? What do you think was the main purpose behind that?
to be fair, I say opportunity because even I mean, there's a lot of things that I would probably not go to, but I would say opportunity because I guarantee you if Alvas Powell, myself, Omar Holness at that time, like that age, that Youth 17 team that go to the World Cup, Jay Salamzi, that group was like some kids in Jamaica was special. And I totally think if we were born in this country with opportunity, we would be somewhere, same like these guys. Because I still say until this day, I don't think Raheem Sterling would play in Jamaica and survive on this Premier League pitch for his style of play. So the opportunity for all these guys growing up, as I say, with because when I moved to MLS and I see residency players, all I think about is why I didn't have this opportunity. Kids in Jamaica don't have this. And when you look at them, they're getting homegrown contract in MLS. And at my age, at our group, that Youth 17 group, we will walk through this residency. No doubt. We will walk through these groups. Because at the
Uh,
like a really good squad. Unfortunately,
yeah.
of us didn't go on to it, and a few of us still playing, but we did have a squad.
True, definitely. Do you think it was easier for you to express yourself when you were one for the future? Because at one point you were always playing a level ahead. So when you were under 17, you could represent the under 20 or the under 23, but you were that standard, you were that good a player that you would always fit into those bigger teams. Even your figure, you're not the biggest person on the pitch. So persons would always say, okay, that youngster there is one to watch for the future. Was it easier to play when you had that label as okay, he had good potential in comparison to when you got to a certain age where people are like, okay, he's supposed to be playing at a certain level now?
Yeah, definitely. At that time, it was easier because honestly, as I say, it was more enjoyment. Now it's more a business. It's what the coach wants. It's the style of play of the coach team, like the system you go in. At that time, you were just playing, you know? I mean, at that time, Downswell used to have his style of play and his system, but the team built around me. If it's just me, the team, I would say I was the skill guy. I do my thing. But then when I move on and I move overseas, it's more like I have to adapt. I have to do what this guy do. Because when I moved to Vancouver, there was this guy called Pedro Morales. And he was coming from Malaga. So for me to fit his shoes, this guy was getting assists almost every game. And his long range pass was perfect. I've never seen any guy pass just like that guy. He's from Chile. But me, I was this guy that's want to drive at you. And when I go there, that's what I would have one-on-one training as a youngster to do what he do. Can get the ball with one touch and make a true pass. Two touch, pass. Me at that time, touch, I want to come at you. Because my mindset was, you can win my ball. And that's how I grew up. I grew up with my friends want to tackle me, and I say, I bet you can't take my ball. So I
Sure,
used, in Jamaica, we kind of like the rah-rah. So it's more like, yo, it's two of you guys. All right, then. It's what it is. Morning cup, your girlfriend understands you want to show off. So it's more like when you come, you just have to adapt. And that's what I think changed my game up to this day because I did have to come and feel into someone's shoes. It's more a business. This is what I have to take care of your family. So it's what the coach was. I'm the player play, coach. So if the coach say, Andre, go run down the flank, I have to run down the flank because he pays me. And that's what
yeah,
I have to tell other kids in Jamaica. And I recently, when I talk to Magia, Lamar, Walker, when I give them my advice, I say, bro, this is overseas. It's not Jamaica where your friend gonna smile when you make someone or whatever. You make 10 people on the field, but you lose, the coach gonna come and yell at everyone. Your friends might post whatever, because they're not gonna. To post a meg is like 2-3 seconds in a game. What do you do in 90 minutes? You
true,
The club is losing money, the fans is getting mad, but our friends in Jamaica are happy. And that's
true.
what changed my game. I have to do what made me play. And I often have that with my brother too, because he would say, bro, sometimes you passing too much now. And I'm like, bro, what do you want to see? Me and the bench are playing. What make you happy? What make my contract extend? So I know in Europe it's way different, which I never get that opportunity. But in MLS, USL, that's how it is. It's how the
Uh,
coach play, pretty much.
well, you haven't gotten that opportunity as yet for Europe. So I trust if you continue working hard, the opportunity will come. All right. You were drafted in 2014, super draft with the likes of
Andre Blake and Damian Lowe. As a matter of fact, you're drafted lower than Damian Lowe. I think you're drafted seventh and Lowe was drafted eighth, somewhere there.
Yeah,
However, only Andre Blake went on to make it in the MLS professionally, have a consistent career. Um, would you say it's an issue with the drafting system, or is it their approach that some players, especially from Jamaica, do not make the grade? Because when it comes down to drafting, a handful of players make it straight through to the top. Is there an issue with the drafting, or would you say is their approach? Because sometimes as soon as they get the players in, they send them back out on loan. Especially, for example, when you got drafted, you were what, 20 years old, 20
yeah,
or 19, somewhere there. So
yeah.
it's still pretty young. Um, what would you say about that? Is there anything you want to say on that regard?
Um, for me, I just think I wish I did get the opportunity because in preseason I was doing really good. Like I was doing really good. I was scoring goals. The coach loaned out. He loaned out a couple players, and I was the last guy to get loaned. I get loaned like after the first game of the season, which I was surprised because the last week before the first game we were gonna play New York, and that time I was excited to see Thierry Henry, so I was excited to be in the squad. That time Matax, we used to talk, and Matax was like, "Yo, if you get the opportunity, take it, bro, because you hear all the guys they left for loan. The coach keep you. That mean he liked you." And I see they bring in a guy. They trade him from Toronto. His name is Mati Laba. He was really good too. And the coach just tell me I need minutes. So he said to have you on the bench, because that time, there was no like reserve league in the MLSR. The USL was just picking up, and we did. When I get loaned, I loan to a team called Charleston Battery in the US. So it's not
Yeah,
like now have second teams, MLS teams have second team that you can train with the team. Because I think if that did happen, I would get a chance. Because if you can remember, Blake take a while before he got his chance,
it
and
did.
I was doing good, and the coach just come to me like, "Hey man, I really liked you. You are a clever player, and you need minutes. You need playing time. We gonna."
So was it an option? Did you get to choose, or was it okay? You need to go on loan.
Not really. I think it was more with my agent as well at the time, Damani Ralph. Um, I talked
Is
to
he
him.
still your agent?
Nah,
Okay,
nah.
all right.
So at that time, I was more like, I need that opportunity, and I need to play because I was doing good too. So I was more leaving Damani too to make certain decision. I was young. I wasn't trying to rush anything. So they tell me like, you're gonna go out and get some games. It's not a season loan. We can pull you back whenever. And while I was there, I was like one of the best players. Like even some of those guys, they are coaches in the USL now, and I still talk to them. I got hurt. Unfortunately, I tore my ACL, and I was out for the rest of the season after like 7 to 8 games with like 2 goals and 4 assists. So I was on a good part. So I don't go to college, so I don't really want to go more on the draft side because I was invited because I was with the national team. So it's like Peter Lee Vassell, or we get into that. So I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
so I don't know much about it, but I'm thankful for that opportunity, for the help.
yeah.
And
Because of the three, you were the only one that was drafted from outside of Jamaica. Because the other two, they went to college in the United States. So
yeah,
you must have been doing something right for them to come all the way to
like
Jamaica for you.
at that time there was like 19 team in the MLS. I got interviewed by like 16, 17 teams. So I was overwhelmed. Like I was happy. The money was happy at the time because no one know me. Damian Lowe, I can't forget Damian Lowe the first day. I always have a thing. I'm like, yo, why these guys so big? And Damian was just telling me like, them not good. Ross. He like that. He just said, LA, them not good. Because he go to college. And then
Yeah.
André was like, LA, just do your thing. Simple guy, you know? After the first
Yeah.
Damian again. Killer. Then so I mean, I do my thing, but as I say, I was doing good. I just, when my chance should come, unfortunately, I got hurt and I was out for like a year. many people don't know, and I think that's why most Jamaican now currently they probably think I'm like I fall back, but many people don't know that I sit out from football for 2 years, and that's not good. That's
Yeah. 2 years is too long when it comes to football.
I'm at still. I mean, it's a blessing. I could be back in Jamaica, but because
True.
attitude, my how I play, I always perform. Coach is always willing to give me that chance. So that's how I'm still here. But as I say, Instagram, social media is all over the place now. So I would sit sometime and see they put some players, and I would just sit down and smile because I
Yeah.
do, but I can't go against that. People have their favorite,
True.
and
True.
all of us doing it for a reason. So I'm
True.
happy for everyone, and that's how I'm normally at. I always sit back and wait to silent people. That's how I
All
am.
right. All
But
right. You hold on. You mentioned about Damani Ralph handling the discussions as it relates to where you'd go, and I guess we'd never know what would have happened had you stayed and tried to fight for a place as a youngster. But do you think agents are doing enough for local players? Because especially now, I get the impression that and the agents back in Jamaica, as soon as they start discussing for or they start negotiating for a player, they're trying to get them in the USL. They want to get straight away. The USL seems to be the most available path for the agents. So it doesn't appear to me that they're doing enough as it relates to the negotiation, the going out and searching for the opportunities for the players and that sort of thing. Do you think players should possibly be a little bit more involved? I know they're tied up with playing football and all of that, but do you think they should be a little bit more involved in what happens with their footballing journeys?
I mean, if they're brave enough, if they're willing to take the risk, like you should know, because I remember even that time when I did get, I think I did get called up when I just get to Vancouver for preseason. And I'm not taking nothing from Damani. Like he helped me out a lot. He find me teams and he do his job, cause he's a really nice guy and I like Damani. We still talk, but I just think you have to be brave as a player. You willing to know what's going on. You willing to ask questions. Don't just settle, because for me, I think agent now for us. I don't know about US players. I think they settle. As you would say, like USL is the root. I think that's our problem now with our players. Like we settle for what come to us. Whatever we get, we take. Because we know the football in Jamaica is where it is right now. And I
So
mean,
anywhere else is better, because
yeah,
that's the impression I'm getting. So agents are they're going out, and the first things that the first opportunity that comes,
like
oftentimes the first opportunity is in the USL. They're quick to offload those players and ensure, okay, this player is in the USL now, on to the next one. And then because I'm seeing so many German, don't get me wrong, nothing is wrong with the USL, and I don't have anything against the USL, but I'm just saying, is it a case that the agents aren't doing enough then to ensure that our players are playing in maybe Scotland or Denmark or in anywhere else in Europe, the MLS, for example, getting them trials with MLS teams and that sort of thing? Because I can't see it, too many players are just moving from Jamaica, quality players in Jamaica, and as soon as they get to the United States, it's a USL that they're going. And I don't think it's a quality that they're lacking. Personally, I think it's the agent not doing enough, and it's my opinion though.
I mean, everyone has their opinion. I have my opinion, and there's a lot I could say more about it. I just on that side, I just think, um, I know the national team have a lot to do with it. To be frank, when your resume is huge to say you play with the national team, it's easier to get like a MLS tryout or. But I still think we settle, because I think that's hurt me. That hurt me. I think we settle. Like when I was at Portland, it was more like, Andre, you doing good. Just hopefully one day the first team will take you. Because I was with the second team. And
Yeah,
I think that's what hurt me at my point when I was doing good. I don't know. I didn't get involved in it because that's his job, and as I say, I play. So I don't know if there was no team that wants me, or he was pushing or doing, but it's more like, okay, you have a team and you're doing good. I spent 2 years there every year, and like, what's next? I'm willing to go somewhere and play. I'm willing to move on. Just put something on the table. And for me, I
True.
think once there's a contract there, that's what we take. So
Yeah.
I think whichever agent, whichever players, I mean, it's good to get out. It's the USL, you can help your family. To be frank with players, you can take care of yourself. It's not going to be MLS money or Europe. We all know that. But I think if you could get a chance to sit and like, hey, this is what I would like you to get. If it's the last option or whatever, just try. Because I think
Eh,
now we settle too much. Like, that's
exactly.
my thing.
All right, moving on, not dwelling on the agents for too long. Like most Jamaicans, you made the move to the US. You are well traveled, right? So a lot of the players who move from Jamaica to the United States end up playing for 4, 5, 6 different clubs. So much so it's almost sometimes you guys are off the radar. How important is stability for a professional player?
I mean, it's important a lot because if you're not playing, your name not calling. No one.
And the league you're playing in as well. And if you're bouncing around, because if you're playing for example, you're playing for Switchbacks now, and you play this season. By next season, you're over to another team, and the following season, you're at another team, and this trend continues. Then there isn't much stability, and
Yeah.
then it's almost as if we can't keep track of you or where you're playing, and there must be something that you aren't doing right. So elaborate how essentially you think staying at one team that is at a good level and cementing your name on the lips of everyone who's watching.
Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad because I mean we in the USL and sometimes you have a better offer. So when you see players move, sometimes it's a better offer. Sometimes maybe they don't like it no more after a year or two and they just wanna move on. But to stay at one club, I think it's really good because when I was in Portland, I learned a lot. I learned the system. If I should go up to the first team, I could play without knowing what to do because it's one system. The way you play with the second team, that's how you play with the first. And
Yeah.
it give you credit because everyone likes you, everyone knows you. And if someone should talk about that team, that's they talk about you because every year they have to face you and they would be like, it's a reason why he's still there. He's doing something good. And if you're not
Yeah.
starting, obviously you're not gonna be there forever. This is USL. You don't sign 5 years contract like Euro. And if you did
True.
3, 4 years, then you are a main player for the team. So that gives you a lot of stability and I mean reputation around the league. Because if you look at Devon Williams, he spent like 4 years at Louisville before he moved on. He
Yeah.
won title with them. Kevin Lambert at Phoenix, maybe I think this is like maybe fourth or fifth season. So when you talk about Phoenix, you talk about Kevin. So I would say it gives you a lot of stability if you stay one place. But at the same time, I mean,
Circumstances and opportunities, because again, it's a USL as you mentioned. You don't get the big contracts, and you don't get the big wages. Fully understood.
yes.
All right. You returned to the club where it started in 2019. So you went back home to Jamaica, having completed a 2 year stint at Portland Timbers.
Three.
Talk us through the reason. 3 year. Oh, there you go. 3 years. Talk us through the reasoning behind your decision to go back to Jamaica.
I hope I don't get pressure for this one. But to be fair, I wasn't getting national team call up.
Yeah, you wasn't getting?
I wasn't getting national team call up. I mean,
Okay.
there was at one point I was hurt, and whenever I'm hurt, I don't think about stuff like that. But to be true, to be told, I think I was off the radar. I
Yeah.
know I was out for 2 years, but I was hurt, and I wasn't getting national team call up. And Damani, as I tell you, that was mainly like him, me. We come together to say, hey, go back to Jamaica and play in the coach highs. Because at that
Yeah.
time, Tapa was giving a lot of guys, young guys, opportunity because that's when Peter Levasu was even getting his breakout. And I was
Yeah.
in and I was doing good. I was playing the most game a season. I was lead top 10 most pass complete in the league. But at this, I wasn't getting national team call up, and I was like, what can I do? So the Gold Cup was coming up, and me and Damani, we sit down and we talk, and I decide like, hey, are we gonna go Europe? I have my name in the USL. Let's leave that for last. See what can happen. And I was home training with Portmore United, like just off-season training, and they wanted me to join the team. And I talked with Damani. He talked to the president of the club, and right there we decide like it's a good opportunity to get back in the team, get into Gold Cup. Maybe something bigger can happen. So that was the main reason to get back in the national team.
Okay. Did you regret that decision or no?
No.
Okay. All right. That's always good to hear. Now you mentioned it was your main reason to your main reason was to get back in the national team. For those on here who aren't aware, you made your debut in 2017. Made your debut in 2017. You've gone on to make a few more appearances. What do you think is the main reason, apart from being out of the eyes of the coach? What do you think is the main reason that you've drifted out of contention?
I don't know, to be honest. To be fair, I don't know.
All right.
There's no reason. I don't know. I just think at the time the coach was picking a squad and they were winning, and there was no reason to change the squad, because at that time we were doing really good, beating all these teams that we were playing at the time. So I just think the coach there was no reason to change the squad. But as
Okay.
always, every time a squad should call, every player around the world, as you can see now, even players that never put a foot in Jamaica wants to play, because everyone wants to represent their country and to play in a World Cup qualifiers, even in the World Cup. That's every player dream. So, I mean, I just have to sit and be disappointed, but at the same time, I want my country to win.
True,
So
true.
that was just it. I just think the coach at the time, there was no reason to change.
All right. A question. I've always wanted to find this out. Do you still anticipate the call ups, like when a squad is being announced? Do you sit and watch your email, refresh your email to see if your name is in there, and if your name doesn't come in that new list of invitees, are you disappointed all over again, or is it a case where, okay, I don't expect to get a call up, so when your name doesn't come, it's not that you care that much?
Oh no, I always care. I don't check my emails, but I'm always excited to see that email, because the email popped up in my phone. But I'm always excited. Like, the Gold Cup is coming up now. I hope that I would be a part of it, but that's on the coach. Like, players don't control decision and selection of the team. But yeah, as a player, I'm disappointed. You should be disappointed. Why not? I mean,
True, true.
not your club. If you don't start, if you don't play, you have all right to be disappointed. You go to training tomorrow, you work your ass off to get in the 11 the next game. So it's just, I approach it. It's like the Japan game the other day. I was,
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to the
I was,
Japan game in a second.
as I say, like, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna cuss out and be like, yo, I'm better than. I never think like that. And I just more think like, yo, hopefully the next one I can get in. That's how I think. So yeah,
Uh,
eager to see an email or a phone call or a WhatsApp from the manager. But yeah, I got disappointed when I see the squad. I'm like, shit. Next one, like, even in my games, I'm like, yo, maybe I need to get an assist or a goal. I need my Instagram to pop up. I need in Jamaica the news to even show the coach, because as I say, that was my issue. When I was doing good, I don't know if I was getting seen, so I have to go back to show in front of the coach, and it happened
yeah,
because we won. And I mean, who gonna ignore a champion team? That
champion team.
2019 Portmore United was unstoppable. Like, we won everything. We won like 4 trophy that year, and I was a part of it. And I mean, God
Yeah.
thank God that I was a part of the squad, because that was my goal. So yes, I'm eager to even soon to see, because Gold Cup is around the corner.
Yeah. we are anticipating that as well. Folks on here, please like the stream, like the video. If it's your first time here, remember to subscribe to Halftime TV. We do ball talk each and every week. All right. Now continuing. USL players are judged differently when called up to the national team. Why do you think this is the case? Because even I think earlier tonight I was watching a friend of mine, Simon Preston. You must know Simon. He was doing his live, and there was a hashtag in the comment section saying no USL players. So why do you think USL players receive such a drubbing, especially from Jamaicans?
I mean, maybe it's just they think the level, because now we have all these players. Because for me, if we didn't have all these guys say they want to play for us, who you gonna call?
True.
I mean, I don't want to get licks for this, but I'm a straightforward person, and that's how I live my life. That's my question. Like, now we have all these big players, and they play in the big leagues, putting up their hand, so you throw away whatever you have, but never you throw away.
Yeah, true.
No, that thing literally goal. That's just it. Because for me, when I was getting called up when I was in high school, 2012, when the Brazilian coaches was there, and I respect Tapa. Like, I wanna give him his respect here. You can see it. Like, he gave me my first call up, my first cap, even after injury and stuff. So I give him a lot of respect for that, even if I'm not a part of the team, because you have to be grateful in life. And not because you don't get called now mean you out forever. National team guaranteed to no one. No.
True.
So when I was getting called up for Jamaica in high school, I remember, and I want the country to remember this too, they were crying no local player. And I remember being a part of the squad in Mexico when Joby McAnuff, McCleary, Mariapa, what his name? Nazrurdi,
Naira Nazareth, yeah.
Jermaine Beckford, all these guys come. And in the last of the game, when we didn't make it to World Cup, you know what the country was doing? They were cursing out for Jermaine Yu. I can't forget seeing him against Antigua playing so good. And they were like, even sports commentary, why this guy wasn't playing. Where was he playing? In Jamaica. But he was a feeler. That's good. But he wasn't playing in the first leg. And we dropped points because we called for all these guys. And we want them. I want them to help us because they bring something different. You know, but don't just say no USL player, no local player. Like, at least everyone should get a chance. That's me. Because you play 1 game, 2 game, all of these guys is a different system. And when you come and play for Jamaica, we are one. It's who wants to play. It's not who because you can play. It's who wants to represent. Who wants to take us to the World Cup. Like, we all hungry, you know? We all want that opportunity. So for me, I think they should be more lenient on local player and USL player. Everyone is free to their opinion, but I just think they could be a little bit more decent on local and USL players. Not because these guys playing in England or Germany or Spain. Oh, you guarantee a spot. National team is guaranteed to no one.
True. And I think what I hate seeing as well is the players. You don't use the same metrics to judge everyone, because if for example an MLS player comes in and he does badly, he gets a different level of bashing in comparison to a local player. Because if a local player goes in and he plays badly, you're questioning why is he even in the team, in comparison to maybe an English-based player. Then you're saying, okay, it's just an off day. So the same way we are willing to accept that it's an off day for an English-based player or an MLS player, I think it's the same way we should approach local-based players as well. But again, I won't dwell too much on this. It's a discussion for another day, or who knows, maybe after we've finished this interview, we can delve in it a little bit more. Now, the Reggae Boys lost 4-0 against Japan's youth team. All right. As a fan, which you are now, and you were at the moment, because obviously you weren't in the setup and weren't a part of the team when they played that game.
What's your assessment of that scoreline?
I mean, I think it was a tough game. I talked to a few of the guys and I watched a little bit of the game because I get on late. I couldn't get a stream. I have to have my friend FaceTiming me, showing me it from his laptop. But I think it was a tough game. Like, that's a game I probably don't want to talk about. It's embarrassing. But I know we can do better. I know we have the players. If we play them again tomorrow, we beat them.
All right, fair enough. I won't even go any further. You said you don't want to go too much on that. But yeah, for those again, if it's your first time on here, remember to subscribe to the channel Halftime TV. All right. Moving on, Andre. With all the noise about passports and eligibility from UK-based players who were recently drafted into the squad, how does external factors, whether the media or otherwise, impact players' psyche? So outside forces, how do these stuff influence your mindset as players?
Actually, I didn't see anything about it until today because I was talking to this Shane and I didn't
Yeah,
know about this passport issue because I try to stay away from the media too because after especially that Japan game, the
yeah,
under the game, I was like, maybe I should tell them, just write something, but I was scared they see my name. Because I was like,
yeah,
guys, easy, it's a big game. But I
yeah,
was scared they see my name. So I don't know much about it, but I mean, as a player, when I see all these big players' name popped up, I mean, I get scared. I don't know about anyone else. And maybe I can talk for a few of the guys that playing in the USL or maybe in Jamaica. I mean, they probably get scared too. These guys are big players. Their resume is higher than us. You would have to put us in a training to say, okay, then let's be a judge. Let's see who we can pick. Because as I say, I'm huge on opportunity.
yeah,
If I was born in England, I guarantee I would probably be in the championship, if not the English Premier League, just as these guys. But
yeah,
the truth is, right now they're at another level than us. And that's fair. That's fact. We have to be truthful. Football don't lie. So
yeah,
yeah, that
yeah,
played time. I don't know. For myself, that played my mind sometime because if I see another midfielder like I see they show a guy, what his name, Stewart. As much as though I want these guys because I can learn from them. I want to see what they have that I don't have. Everyone wants to play in Europe, and these guys are there. So for me, I would love to at least see like, yo, what it takes, what these guys do, because every environment is different.
yeah. Do you think though going into a major tournament like the Gold Cup or even the World Cup qualifiers that we have coming up in September, this level of uncertainty over the year now that we're having, do you think it throws off some of the players off their game somewhat because you're playing with some guys now that you're trying to build a level of chemistry with, but again you're not sure if this person is going to be even if that person is playing really well, you're not sure if he's going to be a part of the match because of passport issues. So do you think it because Theodore Whitmore came out and he spoke about it, saying it's difficult for him to get the chemistry going with the team, but that's a coach's perspective, and we know that coaches, they want to have a set group to train with. But I was wondering if it's the same thing, if it's the same mindset that players share as well.
Yeah, definitely, it's the same thing because when you're looking at to go with a strong squad and a certain guys, because sometimes players can pick the team. You can be straight up and like, he gonna be there, this guy not gonna be there. Or when you there, you gonna be like, well, they should have bring this guy. You know, we all human. Players might not say anything because they're not the boss. You know, they will get shook to the side, but it messed the team up. It messed everything up because when players can bond and you have like a brother bond on the field, you guys bring that on the field. You watch each other back. So you always want to represent instead of you just sitting down like, damn, this is not our first team, man. This kid, he just get a chance and he's just doing his thing, or because the coach like him, or he play in England, you know? It's different.
Yeah.
You guys are really good, and that's what I like with Leon Bailey. Like, we don't talk every day, but that Gold Cup he joined the squad, I give him credit. He come in the
Yeah.
team and he tried to fit in with everyone. You might see him with his flashy lifestyle and know, oh, that's Leon Bailey. But if you don't know that's Leon Bailey, all of us would be here and he's just chilling.
No, that's good. Chemistry is key in any team. In any team, even from the junior level. You played Manning Cup, you know what it's like. If you have a group of players that are the core of the team, because it doesn't have to be the entire team, but that core set of players, they are the ones who generally maintain the vibe, maintain the energy, and it makes it easier for the newcomers to bond with the rest of the team. Anyway, I won't stay too long. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you one more question, and then I'll go over to the fans on here. They'll ask a few questions, and then we'll call it a night. All right. In my closing question, do you think you maximize the potential you showed as a youth?
No. My injury take a toll on me, to be fair.
All right. All right. Really appreciate the honesty there. As I said, I was a big fan of you as well. I played for overseas. Richard Trench, he was called in the last minute for that 2011 World Cup squad in Mexico, him and Anthony Walker. And we're like, okay, well, we have players playing in the World Cup now. And it was a big thing at overseas for my fellow Russians on here. They would have remembered in the devotion, the players were being hyped up and Trench got his game time, because all this was last minute, because I think the original goalkeeper couldn't make it or something, suffered an injury.
Yeah, Odin.
Yeah,
Clark.
exactly. Right. So Trench was called up last minute, and the same thing with Anthony Walker. He was called up last minute as well. So it was quite interesting to see, and I thought you did well. And as I said, with these players that made it on the international level, the likes of Bakayoko, Chelsea bought him for £40 million. There is Kurt Zuma currently playing for Chelsea, won the Champions League the other day as well. Memphis Depay, he scored today in the Euros. All these players, Takumi Minamino, playing for Liverpool, for my Liverpool fans on here. It is just remarkable to see what opportunity does when opportunity meets preparation. And I know you guys were prepared, but the opportunity didn't meet you guys halfway. So it's just one of those instances, and I'm still hopeful. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed. I know you're over there in Colorado with Deshane. You guys are working hard. I'm watching the games. I'm cheering from behind the screens, as I tell all my guests on here. They know already that I watch maybe 40 or 50 hours of football every week. So regardless of where you are, you can consider that, okay, I'm watching. All right, so yeah, man, no worries. One of the best. We continue to thrive, prosper. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to the folks who are sending their requests to ask Andre your question. Ensure that your questions are clean. Ensure that you keep it respectful, folks. There are certain questions that if I think it's invasive or it's maybe putting Andre in a spot where it maybe jeopardize some of his chances of maybe representing the team or even his team that he's currently with, I might cut that question off, right? So again, let's keep it respectful and professional. Our platform is to get to know the players and to explore the human element with these players. Again, thanks, Andre. I really appreciate you being here. And if you're new here, folks, remember to subscribe and like the video. All right, let's see who we have in the caller section. All right. Hello, good evening, Terian. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. All right, so it appears Terian isn't prepared. All right, Terian isn't prepared as yet. All right, let's go over to the comment section. Folks, if you have any questions in the comment section, let us know. I'd be more than happy to leave for this one. Okay. All right, if you have any questions, let us know over here in the comment section. If you have any questions for Andre, ask. Andre, just wishing you all the best for the remainder of the season. That's coming from Marlon Nelson. And bless up the Shane. Good last night from both of you. Yep, the Shane getting a wonderful goal there.
Marlon, thanks.
All right, coming in. Shanice Samuels, one of the best. May he continue to thrive, prosperously been my baller since George's days. Glad to see doing it major. Again, Marlon Nelson, Eli Lewis, I like your honesty. Bro, when it comes to players' quality that are coming in, it's Neo Sovereign. Respect Andre, wishing you lots of success in the year to come. Yeah, so all these well wishers on here. All right, Andre, where do you see yourself in 5 years within the industry? So, from a footballing perspective.
I mean, football is very unpredictable. No one know what football take you after your contract or midsummer on your farm or if you're not performing. But hopefully, with confidence, hopefully I'm at my highest level somewhere in Europe playing or being one of the big or top 5 players in the MLS. But definitely I want to try out Europe for sure because I've been in the US for the last 7 years now.
All right. I hope that answers that, Shanice. Thanks for your question. Again, folks, if it's your first time here, remember to subscribe to Halftime TV. You can like the video as well. Let's get the video to 100 likes. All right. Neo Sovereign. Andre, do you ever get the chance to try out for other teams, even though you're currently signed to a club? Is that forbidden?
Nah, you can.
You can't. Oh, it's illegal?
Once you're in a contract, you can go train for another team.
Okay, all right, understood there. Let's see who we have. There's someone sending a request to join again. Hello, Terrian, are you ready now? All right. So, folks, when you send your request, ensure that you are ready. I have 4 persons over there on the request now, and I can't add either of them because they aren't ready. Yeah. Demar Carr in the comment section is asking, what would you like to see in the next 5 years for Jamaican football? So this is more from a macro perspective.
Proper field. I hope sponsor come on board to help the Premier League. If you're talking about locally, I hope, as I say, proper field, sponsor come on, help the players. I mean, television game, so players get more television, so worldwide can watch the game.
Okay, all right. So again, folks, they can create links and such to watch the games online and that sort of thing. And I think it's a good idea as well because if you're in Jamaica, you're privy to watching the game. I think One Spot Media it requires a subscription and all of that, but again, we still don't get the links on other platforms if you don't want to pay for the game. So there's that. Shani is saying, trust that you will make it. Thank you. Thanks to you, Shanice, for taking the time out to join us. Alicia Headley. Hey, Andre, what motivates you most?
Family.
Family. Family. All right, Alicia. I hope...
I'm a human being to people. Like in my community, you could go around and you ask everyone. I mean, if everyone likes you, something is wrong, and if everyone don't like you, something is definitely
wrong.
People in my community love respect and love, and family. I'm everything. I'm all for family. That's what motivates me.
All right. So, Alicia, again, thanks for your comment. Thanks for joining us on Halftime, and remember to subscribe. All right. Marlon Nelson again. Andre, do you think Jamaica can win the Gold Cup this year?
Yes, of course.
Are you saying that just because you are a part of the team, or are you just?
I argue with my teammates every day. All they talk about because of Leon Bailey. No, we have good players. We have Ravel, we have Blake, we have Damien. We have good players. Like this group we have, this batch, I'm sure Theodore Whitmore, Tapa, it's hard for him to even select this team right now. And when you have a team to select and it's hard, that means you are doing something good.
All right. It's gonna go over to this next question from Jermaine Mitchell. Do you think with all the off-field issues going on now into the Gold Cup, it can affect the team despite some of the top names that you just mentioned in the process of joining the team?
Yes. Yes. Off the field effect is huge in football.
Okay. Yeah.
I hope we get it together before we start the tournament, with me or without me.
I agree because as I mentioned before, football is played on the pitch and off the pitch, and one of the major parts of football is organization. And if the administrative aspect of the game isn't organized, then the team is going to look disjointed and in shambles when they get to the field of play. So, Jermaine, thanks for your question. We appreciate you being with us tonight. All right. Shanice Samuels. Whoa, Shanice. All right. She has a personal question. What's your relationship status, and do you have any kids?
I rather not that right here, right now.
Okay. All right, Shanice, you can send him a DM. I trust he'll answer you there. Again, Jay Matheson, which other sports you watch or play apart from football?
I kind of low-key like basketball, but I don't know much about it. I just love LeBron James.
Okay, all right. So LeBron James, the GOAT then. All right, so we have language, language.
We're not.
All right, let's. All right, we'll get back to Terry in a second. Hey, Andrew, I think you're absolutely talented, but how do you intend to raise your game to the next level within the next year to come?
Hard work, focus, that's it.
All right, so you have to put in those extra hours because talent only gets you so far. So you have to meet it halfway. Again, folks, as I said, like the video if you haven't liked it as yet. Keep those questions coming in. I'll be with I'll do probably another 10 minutes or so, and then I'll leave you to it, Andre. So keep them coming in. Let's see if Terian is ready. Hello, Terian, are you there? Hello, Terian. All right, she isn't ready as yet. All right, continuing. Donovan Taylor. Jamaica is ranked higher than Canada going into World Cup qualifiers. Do you believe the ranking is accurate? Yes. The ranking is accurate. The thing is too, Donovan, let me shed some light on that. I don't really dwell too much on the rankings because I think FIFA and Coca-Cola, they need a coefficient to do their thing, which is, I can appreciate that. But you can't go into a game and say, okay, I'm ranked higher than this team, so I expect to do better than them. All right. So a team may not be playing as much games as your team, and as such, they can be moving down the rankings while your team is playing a bunch of games, and as such, you're moving up. All right. So I hope that shed lights on that. All right. The ranking may be accurate, but again, what are the basis on which we are building that argument? So yeah, you have to ensure that okay, teams are playing similar teams and teams in similar spots before they can make the moves left or right. Currently, Belgium is number 1 in the world. France is number 2. Denmark is number 10. Mexico is 11. United States is 20. Serbia that we played last week is 25. So it's all over the place for me. I don't really dwell on it that much, as I said. Matis wants, what is your favorite football player and team?
Luka Modric, my favorite football player. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. Okay, I guess that's a no-brainer then. So what is Luka Modric? It automatically translates to Real Madrid. Tennessee Lewis. Do you think with so much players coming in, it will help other players rise their game?
Definitely. And that's what I'm happy about. It's gonna give a lot of guy opportunity. Trust me, even myself, you never know. These guys' teams are watching them, and other teams are watching the team because, oh, these guys are playing for Jamaica. Let's see how Jamaica look. Everyone wants to see what it's look like. So a random guy you will never know will get picked up by someone just by one game.
True. I didn't even think of it that way, but that's a fair point. That's a very interesting point because even some of the players who are playing in England and are looking for moves elsewhere, scouts from England will be watching them play on international duty and looking to get them into different teams. And while watching them, they might just see someone else who would stand out.
Like having these guys joining us, it's gonna give us a lot of revenue. Like a lot of people around the world gonna watch these guys. So it's huge for the country.
All right. Donovan Taylor wants to hear your view on the rankings. So I think I took that question, so I'll allow you to elaborate on it. Sorry for that, Donovan.
I mean, you pretty much say ranks don't play football. And I personally think, yes, we supposed to be higher than Canada. Because if we should play Canada right now, I mean, football playing 90 minutes and the ball is round, but you will get a game and definitely we're going to win. No question about that.
Okay. Do you think though, and adding to Donovan's question about Jamaica and Canada, because I've watched Canada's past 3 or 4 games, and I've also watched the Reggae Boys 3 or 4 games. Do you honestly think if the Reggae Boys plays Canada tomorrow, they'll win?
If we play Canada tomorrow with a strong team, yes.
No, like at the rate we're going now, because we saw them against Serbia, we saw them against Japan under 24. I saw Canada against Haiti over 2 legs. I saw them against, I think, Curacao or Suriname. I think Curacao, one of those teams. Curacao it was.
We up against 2 strong opponents than Canada. So
I agree.
I don't want you to judge that game and think, okay, Canada's structure is good and they're organized and they do it. Nah, we will win. We will.
Okay. All right. Donovan, if you have a follow-up question, please leave it in the comments there. Let's see if we can get to that. All right.
Let's see. Jordan is here. Hello. Good evening, Jordan. Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
All right. Where are you calling from?
I'm from St. Catherine, Jamaica.
St. Catherine, Jamaica. All right. I can't see you, Jordan. I don't know what's happening with your camera there. Let's see if we can clear that.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get it better.
All right, no worries. If you have a question, you can go ahead and ask your question while we try and get that sorted out. All right.
No, I'm pretty fine.
Okay. All right. What's the question you have for Andre this evening?
Well, I don't have any question this evening, you know.
All right. You have any comments? Anything you want to say to him?
Not at this time.
All right. All right. No worries, Andre.
Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, Jordan. Appreciate the support. All right, Jordan.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, man. Blessings, bro.
I mean,
All right. That's Jordan. Go ahead.
I mean, for this question, I mean, I've talked with management and coaching staff because I have a good connection with everyone there. And to you as a fan, respect, big up, Portmore United straight. But I heard we have a pretty young group this year. Like, and there's a couple guys that not with the team as yet because they've been overseas. So, I mean, we might have a slow start, but we just have to use what we have, you know? So hopefully these guys are ready and up for the task. I mean, Portmore is always Portmore. We are the champion of Jamaica. We fear no one. It doesn't matter what Mount Pleasant have. I mean, Coach Bibi gonna put a team out there and he put a team out there to win. So just keep the faith, man, you know? Football is down and I hope we come out with our victory. I hope we are on top of the table at the get-go, but I'm not sure how many games they're gonna play, but I mean, just give them their time. I don't know much of the guys right now. I know a lot of them, but I heard there's a lot of new face. But let's see what they have to bring. After the season start, first 2-3 games, then we can start make comments because it's preseason. And after maybe a month or 2 weeks preseason, there's very little they can do.
Yeah, true. Do you have a preferred formation?
Me?
Yeah.
4-3-3, but I rather like the two holding mid with like a 8 that's go up and down with a number in front of him.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Jermaine Mitchell, what do you think about 5-1-2-3 formation? He's even given a lineup. Okay, the lineup is Lawrence, Pinnock, Lowe, Moore or Mariapa, Alvas with Stewart as CDM. Ravel and DJ at central mid, Low left wing, Roof center forward, Bailey right wing. Okay.
All good players. Everyone, that's Jamaica team right there, and I represent Jamaica. But I'm a player. I'm not a coach. I can't pick. I'll be a part of your team, but I'm a player. So, all good players. Once Jamaica win, I win. Because if we lose in the locker room tomorrow, I get licks. And that's fair. So I won't be selfish to say, I should get called up. I should be in your team. Because if we lose tomorrow, these American guys, they take me on, man. These guys get called up for these guys and they get smashed. I got that in Japan. So, all good players, man. But Jamaica is Jamaica. So, as I say, I'm a player. I learned that from Ricardo Gardner. Players play, coach.
Coach. True.
Always be fans. So that's your team.
All right. Well, it's a win for me still. Mount Pleasant maybe ahead of all teams. I think one of the key factors is Mount Pleasant is extremely organized. I can't help but notice that they're organized in every way and form. Like probably it's the funding that they're receiving. I don't know, but everything is just on point with them.
Yeah,
straight through.
But Portmore haven't lost a preseason game so far. I think they played 2 and they won. They haven't lost a preseason game, and they still likes of Chevron Willis. He's not. They don't have him as yet. I think Ricardo Morris just joined the team, but there's a few guys that's not there, and they doing their thing. They hold it. But I know Mount Pleasant. Cardell Benboy is my best friend. I want to see him do good. I want to see him back with the national team because I know what he can do. But Portmore.
To consider. Okay. I said this because Lawrence and Albers need to go forward. Defense problem. How is that? Yeah. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense, and I can see the reasoning behind that, Jermaine Mitchell. Do you play FIFA? Neo Sovereign wants to take you on FIFA, it seems.
Nope. I'm doing my thing still, You might have to come strong on that one this thing.
Yeah.
Me do my thing, man. But before, remember, there is 23 guys in the squad. You have to have a squad, not 11. You have to think about injury and stuff. I know there's always people pick their starting 11, but as I say, coach, and player play. But you have to think about a team and not just players that play,
Yeah, definitely. Donovan Taylor back again. Jamaica is not ready to beat Canada right now. I have to concede this fact. Again.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion, bro.
It's where it's at. All right. Tennessee Lewis. Why is it so hard for Jamaican players to get into Europe? Because we have the talent. So why is it so difficult? Why do you think it's so difficult?
We were talking about it earlier. Agent, the opportunity, and how football is now. You have to be playing for your national team, and if you're not in the squad, if you're not getting called up on a regular basis, it's gonna be hard.
But I don't know, because
You spoke. I think it's more about the agents, though. Agents more than anything else, in my opinion, because even Leon Bailey, I know he's a special talent, but he made his senior debut after how many appearances for Leverkusen. So I don't know. I think it's more of the agents going out there and looking.
Agent.
And
As
yeah,
I was doing good in Portland, I was just settled because every year I have a contract. Oh, we're gonna keep you for next year. We keeping you for next year. Instead of I have someone that's really pushing and working hard, like, hey, I'm doing it before the season finish. You know?
yeah. So by the off season begins, you know that okay, you have a bunch of opportunities. Country ranking, fine. I can appreciate the country ranking, but still there are so many players. If it's even a one-off instance where there is a player playing in a top club who plays for a country that you don't even recognize, right? For example, Obama, he plays for Arsenal. He's coming from Dortmund. Where is Gabon ranked in the world? No. So it's stuff like these that you're like, okay, are these agents not using up these passports then and going out to these clubs and arranging these meetings and telling them, okay, I have this player, getting the clips, getting into the faces of these scouts and that sort of thing. I don't know the metrics are the approach that they take behind these stuff, so I don't want to elaborate too much on it because I like to have all the information, all the resources before I speak on stuff. But as I said, it's my opinion.
You have agents that do it. It's just you have to be with the right one, you know?
Yeah, yep.
Some people
True.
work from some.
True. Shanice, again, exposure, they need better agents, marketing specialists, or links, maybe. Speaking of even agents, I think most Jamaican players, they share similar agents, you know.
Same.
I think most of the guys back home, they have the same agents, because when I speak to them and they mention their agents, it's like, okay, there's just a constant name that keeps popping up, and then the trajectory of the players is more often than not the same. So I don't know. Let's see, Marlon Nelson, I think the agents market they have for players, so they get them contracts. Yeah, but as an agent, you need to constantly be making new connects. So you go out there and you seek new you network. One of the primary jobs of an agent is to network. So when you do proper networking, then whenever you get a player that suits a particular ilk, then you can refer that player to the persons who you have in your network. So if your network is only in the USL, whenever you get a player, chances are that player is going to end up in the USL because you're not stepping out of your comfort zone to go to probably a Belgium or probably a championship in England or probably a third division somewhere. It doesn't matter. A second division in Spain, that sort of thing. You're not stepping out of your comfort zone because the USL is right here and you know a few scouts in the USL. So whenever you get a player, if it's even a top player, whenever that player comes around and is seeking an agent and you make yourself available, that player ends up in the USL.
That's basically based on the league back home too, because if players can maintain their family and USL contract come around, they're gonna take it.
Definitely. Definitely. Andre, do you keep in touch with any of the UK-based players you played with in GCs, I guess it's Georges, so you can network with them to find opportunities in Europe?
UK player with Georges?
GC, they said GC.
I don't know what GC. If it's St. George's College, we have all Jamaican players.
Oh, I guess it's Gold Cup, sorry.
Oh, Gold Cup, it was just Hector. We only have Hector, I think, as English-based player.
Oh, Gold Cup. So, yeah, thanks for the clarification on that. Jeremy Mitchell, Jamaica can beat Canada, Davis, David, they are not all that. Well, Jonathan Davids, he won the French, he won the league title with Lille just the season that passed, and Alphonso Davis, he won the Champions League last year, so they're probably all that. Alphonso Davies is a top player, so you can't deny that Alphonso Davies is a quality player. He's one of the best in the game right now. I can assure you. And the good thing about Alphonso Davies is he's versatile. So he can play as a winger, he can play as a defender because he has the pace, he can tackle, and he can go forward. He has a good shot as well. So though I know enough about Alphonso Davies to form a proper opinion as it relates.
Bailey.
Leon. Leon, no, Leon is a better player, no doubt. But I'm just saying we can't question Alphonso, and he's still young because Alphonso Davies is what, 19 going 20. Yeah. So we can't question his ability on that. All right, folks, come on. I know we are Jamaicans and we want to see Jamaicans do well, but come on. But Peter McGregor leave the club, haven't played for a club game yet, but he's in Swedish top league. I play a club game yet. Yeah, again, as I said, getting that right connection. All right, Tishan, let's see. Hello.
You are in the show. You.
Hello, good evening.
You are in the show.
All right, folks, ensure that you're ready. Once you send the request, I'm going to add you on. All right, so ensure that you're ready when I go. So what about South American or maybe the language barrier? Again, folks, language barrier should be.
Can't say it's just once.
Yeah.
Cannot take themselves up and go places.
Huh? Listen, players can't take themselves up and go places.
Players can't do that. If we could do that, we would be there.
Yeah, true.
As I said, league in Jamaica, for one, we need proper even online stream games people can watch. We need people behind us to be pushing these clubs. We can't sit on our laptop or iPad on our phone and sending out emails to who. That's why we've been talking about agent.
Yeah, definitely. Big up, brother. Welcome, Shoshana White. We appreciate the support, folks. If you're just joining, remember to like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please remember to subscribe. Ryan LFC, welcome, bro. Subscribe to Ryan LFC as well. Very, very relevant Reggae Boy content on a daily basis. They have to give Canada their respect. They might have the best front three in CONCACAF. That one is
in CONCACAF?
No, I have to disagree with that.
Best front three in CONCACAF, definitely not.
Mexico's front three is better than theirs. If Jamaica settles on a front three, they select the best three players, we will be better than them as well. With the United States, it's the same thing. So Canada is fourth now, as it relates to their front three, if they should assemble the best front three. All right. South America language barrier again. Tennessee. What do you think about South America, Andre?
I think it's a good league. I have players from Colombia that I play with, and he would tell me like money is good over there, the style of play, the South American Cup like CONCACAF. I mean, it's just that I never see much because I don't really watch football on that side. If it's not Brazilian league, when I was in Jamaica, I don't really look that side. It's more European football I'm watching, to be fair.
Okay, so probably it's a matter of exposure again. They have to. All right. Let's put it this way, right? Mexico's front three with Lozano, Raul, Jimenez, and I'll say even Lainez is better than Canada's front three. Taxi versus Alphonso Davies. The thing is, again, folks, as I said, Alphonso Davies was initially a winger. He was converted to a wing back. When he's back with the national team again, he's playing as an attacking midfielder or right forward. So it's difficult to compare him to Taxi because Taxi is just a wing back then, or if you want to claim as
So funny.
a left.
I remember training with him when I was in Vancouver when he was 15 years old. This kid
Yeah,
run literally across the field with the ball. No one can stop him. As soon as he pick it up and he's put his head down, you see that he's special. But no experience. He just do
true.
thing. If he go down the line, it's just go. He just go. Now and it's because of the opportunity. He was
True,
15
true.
years old training with all these professional players. He have the resource, he have the structure, everything. This kid was from like a different state from where I was in Vancouver, living with parents that they put him with because he was with the residency. In Jamaica, what do we do? At that age, we go to high school. We're playing our high school football with our age group. If we do go to training, the older guys, they want to hurt us if we make or pile them. As we would say, pile, right? If we make the older guy in training, he gonna kick us down and tell us, yo, straight up, yo, don't do that. In Vancouver, when I was there, they protect this little boy. You can't touch him. He was 15 years old. As soon as you touch him, the coach is gonna tell you, why you doing that? Or he shout out, stay on your feet. Jamaica,
Yeah.
I do that. We not having a little boy shift for you up. We not I take your ball. First thing a man might say, yo, little boy, leg on me ball. When
Yep.
you with him free if you do what him do. It's a total different thing. That's why I say opportunity and the environment set you up for success.
All right. We'll keep this interview at just an hour and 30 minutes. We have just about 5 minutes left to go. Let's see if we can get in as much as possible. Actually, I believe you guys can market yourselves better as it regards to social networking within the industry with doing so you meet agents who can globally open doors for a bigger market. That's an interesting point there.
Yeah, but you make your performance stop. You perform agency. That's the truth. You can reach out to them.
You can't reach out to the agents, no?
Yeah,
They have to come to you?
can, but as a player, do you want to do that?
Well, if it is what gets you the big move, maybe that's what some of the players need to do. They need to reach out to some of the top agents who are making the big
I
moves,
mean,
no?
question, then you might have to be going to one of your teammates, like, bro, set me up with your agent, you know? That's what you
Yeah,
want. Like, I don't know. I mean, for me, your performance. Let your performance talk.
yeah. I understand the perspective, but I also can appreciate Shanice's perspective as well. Because if you have an agent and you have let them feel comfortable training with the senior players. Yeah, true. Marlon Nelson. That's all. And again, as I said, Alphonso Davies made the move to Bayern Munich. They gradually got him into the first team. The French defender Lucas Hernandez, he was out, and he came in. Pavard was out. They put him over there as well. That's how versatile he is, and we saw what he did to Barcelona in the Champions League last year. And I think that's where everyone started taking notice of this kid because he was something else. Thomas Muller even came out and spoke great things about him, saying it's almost as if he has an extra pair of legs. That's how fast he is. So they don't have to worry because he's always covering. And again, as I said, he started out when he's with the Canadian team, he's playing as an attacking on the left side of the front three. And then when he's playing with Bayern Munich, he's playing as a wing back sometimes. So it's how versatile he is as a player that makes him so great. And sometimes it can be a curse, but sometimes it's a blessing. We saw with Joshua Kimmich at Bayern Munich as well. He plays brilliantly in midfield, but if need be, he's playing as a defender as well. All right. Big up to Lewis and Halftime TV. Yeah, appreciate all the love and the support, folks. Let's see if we can get maybe one more question in. And put in the work baller, as you said, football, no leave on nobody yard. You need to perform. Jermaine Mitchell, thanks for tuning in with us this evening. In closing, for all those joining me for the first time, welcome to the Halftime TV family. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, you can leave it in the comment section afterwards as well. You can follow me on social media at J_analyst21. My sponsors, Quick Link Shipping, RS Sports Store, and CSA Shop. You can follow all of them on Instagram as well. Andre, is there anything you want to say before you leave?
I mean, just support the boys, Support whosoever in the team, if it's your friend, your family, even if you don't know the guys, like, it's a huge year for us. And as a country, I would love to see us go to the World Cup. And I just say, I mean, every analyst out there and journalist, I mean, I don't know if you guys play football, but come on, support the guys, You have everyone entitled to their own opinion, but at this stage right now, we need your support more than anything else than bashing us. I know sometimes it's good, it's gonna help fix the team, and but at this stage it was some friendly game. The real
Okay.
coming up, and we need you guys. We can't do it without you guys. So much love for me and respect, and thanks for having me, General. I mean, appreciate it. I'm not much of a public guy. I'm always low key, and I skipped a lot of these. But I listen and I watch your show, and I be frank, there is some I refuse to do. They DM me, I refuse to do it because I think they are being unfair. And seeing them picking squad and all that, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but sometimes just be fair, man. Life is fair. And everyone is
All right.
for their family. No one try to do it for themselves. When someone get called up, there's like a house heat. So it's good. So just support the boys, man.
All right. There you have it, folks. I hope you heard what Andre had to say. Support the guys. They need your support no more than ever. And as I said, I'm always cheering on from behind the screen. One of the biggest Reggae Boys fans, wherever you guys are in the world. Shane will tell you. I'm always watching the game. Sometimes I even share them on my Instagram post if I get the chance. I work a full 8-hour shift most days, but I still have another 8-hour shift, which entails watching football. So again, thanks to everyone who joined us for the past hour and a half. I appreciate you guys so much. Words don't even describe it. Thanks to my sponsors. Wouldn't have been here without you guys. For everyone who subscribed to my channel, we just passed 600 subscriptions. Thanks again to you guys as well. All right. On Monday, we'll be back to regular proceedings. We have a very special guest again with us for halftime ball talk. So stay tuned for that. We'll be right here again to do the same thing. We'll be interviewing your favorite football players wherever they are in the world, giving you, the fans, an opportunity to know them a little bit better. Come with your questions, come with your feedback, come with your concerns, and we'll be more than happy to address them. All right. Thanks again, folks. Until next time, Naranda Brown here saying take care, and we appreciate you. All right.
Blessings.